Welcome, everyone, and baseball fans. This is Lisa Pride, and we are at Burt Aronson Regional Park here in Boca Raton, Florida, for game one of this double dip between the Miami Gardens Makos and the West Boca Snappers. This is the Snappers' home field here, and we're excited for this game to get underway. Both teams played yesterday, and the Makos, they're coming off a late night doubleheader. Quick turnaround for some, it was an over an hour drive to get here, and they're ready to go. So they ate their Wheaties this morning. The Makos 2-0 in the South Division. They're in second place, a half game back. The Snappers 1-1 in the same South Division. They're fourth right now in a game and a half back in that South Division. On the hill for West Boca, the Snappers. You can see them in their bright yellow jerseys here. It's number 25, Marlon Takovich. Takovich, a righty on the hill for the Snappers. Receiving him is Rivera. Velardo's at first, Isofano's at second, Bavaro at short, and Camacho at third base. From left to right in the outfield for West Boca, Melvin, Soto, and Hatfield. We'll give you the starting lineups for the Makos in just a minute. So leading things off for the Makos is the right fielder, number 16, Trent McDougal. Batting second for the Makos today will be the shortstop, number 1, Ruben Gandaria. And then it's the second baseman, number 37, Luis Marrero. Cleaning things up for the Makos is the first baseman, Damian Hernandez. Then the catcher, Ryan Godinez. And the center fielder, Lester Martinez, will bat sixth. The extra hitter today, Chris Perez, will bat seventh, batting eighth. The left fielder, Andy Enriquez, and we're getting ready for the first pitch delivered by Takovich. Here it comes inside upstairs on McDougal. So 8, 9, and 10 is Aeneas, Andy Aeneas playing left, the designated hitter, Frank Pena, and then the third baseman, Carlos Rubio. The 1-0 pitch, and that'll miss low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to McDougal. So McDougal, Gandaria, Marrero, Hernandez, Godinez, here comes the pitch. Strike delivered. 2-1 is the count. Martinez, Perez, Enriquez. And then 9 and 10 in the lineup for the Makos is Pena and Rubio. McDougal waiting the next pitch, swing and a miss. 2-2 is the count here to the leadoff hitter for the Makos. Takovich is coming in with a fastball, slider, changeup, and cutter. Here comes the 2-2. Inside, that'll miss. Full count here to McDougal. Gandaria, Ruben, the shortstop, is on deck. We have a partly cloudy day here, and I'm sure since I've been sweating so much that we're in the high 80s right now. I'll take a look in between innings, and there's a swing and a miss. So McDougal will go down swinging, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Gandaria. On deck is Morera. Let's take a peek at the starting lineup for the Snappers, the home team here today. The Snappers will be led by the right fielder, Xavier Hatfield. He'll lead things off. Then the center fielder, Avi Soto. The first baseman, Ty Velardo, will bat third. Pitch delivered, strike. Righty on righty matchup. The third baseman, Samuel Camacho Jr., will bat fourth. Then it's the designated hitter, Ethan Strakowski, batting fifth. The shortstop, Will Bavaro, will bat sixth. Next pitch, that'll miss inside. The left fielder, Tommy Melvin, will bat seventh for the Snappers. The extra hitter, Josh Hungler, will bat eighth. 9 and 10 for the Snappers. The catcher, Dominic Rivera. Little tapper, foul left side. Then the second baseman, Johnny Isfano. So Hatfield, Soto, Velardo, Camacho Jr., Strakowski, Bavaro, Melvin, Hungler, Rivera, and Isfano. That's the lineup for the Snappers. At the plate, it's Gandaria. He'll take the next pitch, and that'll miss low and away. Kick the pitch, and that'll miss upstairs. The South Florida Collegiate Baseball League is a wood bat league, so they're not used to using these wood bats during the season, maybe during fall ball, but here in summer they get to use the wood. That'll be ball four as the shortstop takes off his gear and heads to first base. Nice little walk with one out. That'll bring up the second baseman, Luis Morera. Another righty righty matchup as Morera steps in. Infield playing straight away. Velardo at first, tight to the bag. As the ball is popped up, it'll stay in the infield. Calling for it is Bovaro at short. He'll make the grab, and there's two away as Marrero is retired. Two down. It's the cleanup hitter for the Makos, the first baseman, Damian Hernandez. Hernandez, a big, tall righty, kicks the dirt by the plate, sets himself. He's got a black bat, takes a look at it, does the sign of the cross, and steps into the box. Makos wearing their road grays, gray tops, gray bottoms, as Takovich delivers first pitch strike to Hernandez. Bright yellow tops says we need some bright yellow sunshine here today. It is nice though, keeps it a little cooler to have it partly cloudy here this morning. Swing and a miss. So the yellow tops, white bottoms for the home snappers. They've got their white caps on too. The snappers, of course, named after our freshwater turtles that we have here in South Florida. And can you believe it? We do have Mako sharks in Florida too. Called strike to Hernandez. He's rung up, and that'll leave one stranded for the Makos as we go to the bottom of the first. No score on the board. No runs, hits, errors, one left on base. Well, the Palm Beach County Sports Commission attracts sporting events and activities to Palm Beach County to enhance tourism and business, as well as promote sports across the Palm Beach community. The PBCSC, that's the Palm Beach County Sports Commission, provides venues to promote the image of Palm Beach County as a top sports destination in the country. Thank you, Palm Beach County Sports Commission. Wait, do you want to check it really quick? Is that right? Yeah. Welcome back. We're in the bottom of the first. Lisa Pride here for the the South Florida, rather, Collegiate Baseball League. First pitch. And that's a base hit for the leadoff hitter, the right fielder, Xavier Hatfield. So Hatfield got it out of the way. Right away, the Snappers have a runner at first. That'll bring up the center fielder, Javi Soto. Trent Shields is the pitcher for Miami Gardens, the Makos. On deck is Ty Villardo. Righty-righty matchup, pitch delivered. This ball is given a ride, a line drive into left, over the left fielder's head all the way to the wall, rounding second base, heading to third, standing up, and he's going all the way to home is Hatfield. Hatfield going first and all the way home on that line drive off the bat of Soto. That's a stand-up double to drive in the first run of the ball game and make it a 1-0 lead for the Snappers. So Ty Villardo, first lefty here of the game and first lefty for the Snappers, will step up to the plate. Snappers up 1-0. Right away jumped on Shields. Receiving Shields is Godinez, Hernandez at first, Marrero at second, Gandaria at short, Rubio at third. Left field for Miami Gardens, the Makos, is Iniquez and Martinez. Center fielder, McDougal in right. First pitch misses. 1 ball, no strikes to Villardo. Next pitch, a strike. 1-1 the count. The Makos 2-0 in the South Division, 2-1 overall. Next pitch strike, right at the knees. Second place early on here for the Makos, the Snappers. Also in the South Division, just below the Makos, with a 1-1 record, 1-2 overall. They're a game and a half back. Liner into the glove of the shortstop, trying to double up at second, throw over to second, steps on the bag and does double up. Soto at second base. So Villardo lines right into the shortstop glove and the easy play over to second base to get 2 outs. That'll bring up the third baseman, Samuel Camacho Jr. So 2 for the price of 1. I mentioned earlier that the Makos played a doubleheader yesterday, and it was a late one. First game didn't start till after 8 p.m., I believe. They had really wet grounds. The field was just underwater, getting soaked the last couple of days, and no sun at all to help dry it off. So they really had to work and postpone the game about an hour and a half or so. Next pitch strike to Camacho Jr. The Makos play at St. Thomas University. That's where the coaching staff and most of the roster, most of the team here is from St. Thomas. A lot of incoming freshmen, sophomores next year, both from the developmental team and the main roster for St. Thomas. They're the Bobcats. Camacho Jr. at the plate. Pitch delivered. That'll miss away and get by the catcher. Godinez right back to the backstop, but nobody on. Doesn't have to worry about any runners. Hatfield led off with a single, scored on the double by Soto. But a late night for the Makos. They finished, though, in time to watch the Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals. Panthers unfortunately lost, and there's a strike delivered, and that'll do it. But the Snappers still are on top 1-0 as we head to the top of the second here from Bert Aronson Regional Park. At Marriott Spring Hill and Town Place Suites, we know that part of a great vacation is the peace of mind that comes from a great hotel. That's why we are dedicated to provide an experience that stands above the rest. Whether it be our comfortable beds, poolside relaxation, or our courteous staff, we ensure you'll get the best out of us so you can enjoy your travels with ease. Marriott Spring Hill and Town Place Suites, the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League's preferred hotel providers. Welcome back. We're in the top of the second here on a partly cloudy day, high 80s. The humidity is sky high, I can tell you that. We're in Boca Raton, Florida. Makos Snappers. At the plate is the Makos. It's the catcher, Ryan Godinez, and Godinez, Martinez, and Perez will face Takovich first. One ball, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. That's low and away. Nope. Pitch calm or watches. I know a lot of the teams this year use watches like Apple Watches that were able to relay the pitches to the pitcher catcher. Here comes the pitch, and that's inside and miss. Straight calling with back to just signals coming from the dugout from the head coach or here today. I talked to the snappers and the catcher pitcher. They're calling the game right now. So Rivera calling the game, relaying the signals the old fashioned way to Takovich. Next pitch hits the screen behind the home plate. Godinez looking for his first hit of the season. Pitch delivered, that'll miss. And Godinez sprints to first base for the walk. He gets the free pass. That'll bring up the center fielder, Lester Martinez. On deck is Perez, the extra hitter. Courtesy runner for Godinez, number 23. That's Justin Mercado at first, the courtesy runner. Pitch delivered to Martinez. That'll miss. One ball, no strikes. Next pitch, low and away. 2-0 is the count. Righty righty matchup. Next pitch, that'll sail away on the righty. 3 balls, no strikes to Martinez. Martinez from Miami, Florida, sophomore at St. Thomas University. Stands at 5'11, 180. Deep in the box, the pitch delivered, and that'll miss. 4 straight balls here to Martinez, back to back walks. Runners at first and second for the Makos. That'll bring up the extra hitter, Chris Perez. Big number 44. 2 on, no outs here for the Makos. They're down 1-0. We're in the top of the second here in Boca Raton, Florida. Pitch delivered right at the knees inside for a strike. Infield playing tight, watching the bag with the runners at first and second. Outfield straight away, pitch delivered. That'll go out of play left side. Not much shift down for the lefty at the plate. Right fielders playing off the line out there in right, so even playing the lefty to go opposite. Pitch delivered, that'll hit the backstop. Bright yellow gloves, wiggling his bat, takes the next pitch. It's low and inside. Black wooden bat, has it taped up a little bit. Digs back in the box is Perez. Close to the plate, deep in the box. Takovich looks the runner back at second, then delivers. He'll miss outside and up at the letters. Two on, no outs. Makos going to third base. The throw, it bounces, but staying in front of it is Camacho. He blocks it from going out to left field, but that'll be a stolen base for the courtesy runner Mercado. He's in for the catcher. So Camacho at third. Nice job there with the throw from Rivera. Hitting the dirt first and bouncing by the third base bag. Hard hit, right side, scooped up by the first baseman. Throw home, runner going, tagged out. Nowhere to go for the courtesy runner Mercado as he made the commitment going home, and everybody was running behind him too. So Perez safe at first base on the fielder's choice as Mercado out at home plate. Nice play by Velardo going home. Martinez using his wheels. He's at third base right now, though. So the Makos only one out and runners at first and third for the number 8 hitter, the left fielder, Andy Iniguez. Iniguez, righty, he's deep in the box. Two-tone bat, black, and it looks like it's got a red handle. Looks like a brand new wood bat, too. He'll pop it up to the right side, calling for it is Hatfield. He'll throw it in, and the throw on the line going to the catcher. That holds up Martinez at third base. He wasn't going to test the arm of Hatfield. So Iniguez is retired as he flies out to right. There's 2 outs. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter in the lineup, the designated hitter, Frank Pena. Pena digs in with his back foot. Righty-righty matchup. Touches the chalk on the back of the box. Slightly open stance. Keeps his toes up on his front foot. Takes first pitch strike. Makos have runners at the corners with 2 outs. Down by 1, Snapper scored first in the first inning. We're in the top of the second. We're playing 7 here. This is game 1 of the doubleheader. Line drive into left. It'll drop in for a base hit and tie up the ball game here in the second as Martinez scores for the Makos. So Frank Pena, the designated hitter, singles, picks up his first ribby of the day. That moves Perez to second base. Runners at first and second for the number 10 hitter in the lineup. The third baseman, Carlos Rubio, goes after the first pitch. He's jammed. Weak grounder to second, easy throw to first, and that'll retire Rubio. But the Makos tie it up here in the second. It's a 1-1 ball game. Do not let injuries slow you down. MD now has over 110 locations across the state of Florida and centers in 20 different states. You will get the best care from our award winning physicians to get you back on your feet. Whether it's a fastball to the head or any injury that comes your way, when you need help, you want MD. Maybe it's that thing where Welcome back. Signs, t-shirts, hats, and more. Delray's finest signs and graphics has you covered for your special events. DFS provides the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League with banners, team merchandise, and more for our opening day, All Star Game, playoffs, and all of our big events. And they will do the same for you. Lola and her team, located in the heart of Palm Beach County, will have your design and graphics needs met. For all your design needs, go to DFS Graphics. That's DFSGRAPHICS.com. And we're back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. If you missed a part of the second double play, end of the inning for the Snappers, show no runs on the board in the second for the Snappers. Still a 1-1 ball game, and now we are in the top of the third, going 7 here in game 1 of this doubleheader. Back up to the top of the order, it's Trent McDougal at the plate. The right fielder struck out his first trip up, so he's 0 for 1. Takovich working on McDougal, and he fouls this one into the backstop. Breezy day here at the ballpark. Next pitch hit on the ground under and between the wickets of Camacho, goes right under his glove, between his legs, and McDougal gets on base. That'll go down as an E5. Camacho was right there. That ground ball was just the speed. It wasn't too fast, too slow. That Camacho just did not time it up right, or maybe glanced, to see what the runner was doing, but didn't have his glove all the way down to scoop up that ground ball. Gandaria steps up to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Takes first pitch strike. Number 1 is the number 2 hitter in the lineup here for the Makos. He walked his first trip up to the plate here in today's contest. Sun trying to peek out between the clouds. Runner going. Throw to second base. And it won't be in time as McDougal picks up his first stolen base here today. I'm working on getting my own Wi-Fi restored here. You never know, being outside and with the elements. We're battling just like the players on the field. Pitch low and away here to the number 2 hitter, Gandria. Alfredo Tito Carrillo is the head coach for the Makos. The assistant coach and pitching coach, Rene Arauz. Both coaches for St. Thomas University. Strike delivered. Pop up. That'll get out of the infield and it'll be a blooper right into center. Little trouble there, and the shortstop, Gandaria, just places that ball right where no one can get it. Soto playing too far back. That'll advance McDougal to third base, so the Makos put themselves in a good position here with runners at the corners and no outs. Luis Marrero, the number 3 hitter, he popped up to short his first trip, 0 for 1 here today. He'll step into the box, deep in the box. Marrero, a Gold Glove winner last year in the 2024 season here in the league, and he's back again. Talked to the coaches, and Tito was telling me how this is such a great league, not only to get the guys prepared that are coming out of high school, the new freshmen, for college, but strike delivered. But Marrero last year, he had a player in front of him. He played in the league, did well in the summer, and that player was ineligible, and Marrero just slipped right into his spot and wouldn't have been able to do that without playing here in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Takes the next pitch. Next pitch hit hard on the ground. Going to his right is Camacho. Throws to second. Relay throw to first. Gets away from the first baseman. And there's no out at third. So the ball was batted to third base, but the runner stayed. And now he's advancing as the ball gets away from the first baseman. So McDougal scores. Gandaria is out at second. And Marrero is safe at first base. An errant throw over to first, but he might have been safe there anyways. He was right at the bag. The Makos take over the lead here, 2-1 in the third. That'll bring up Damian Hernandez. He struck out looking back in the first. Morero at first base has been having a really good season so far. 1 for 3 in game one of the season. Doubled, pitch delivered strike. Picked up another hit on Wednesday's game. It was a doubleheader against the Diamond Ducks. Game one was 1 for 2, scored a run, drove in a run, and stole a base. Next pitch, that'll go away. And then in game two, that late night game, Marrero was 1 for 1. So at 2 hits yesterday, scored a run. Picked up his second double of the season and his second stolen base. They'll have to keep an eye on Marrero at first with second base open. Batting .500 coming into today's contest, and looks like he's got another hit on the board today. Upstairs, that'll miss. So Hernandez will walk to first base. That'll push Marrero over to second. One out. That'll bring up the number 5 hitter, the catcher, Ryan Godinez. Godinez walked. Had a courtesy runner that came in and ran around the bases for him. That was Mercado. Was out at home plate, though, as the Makos tried to push a run across the plate. Weren't able to do so, but then Martinez scored off the bat of Pena in the second. That was the first run of the ball game for the Makos, and the Makos now have the 2-1 lead. So 2 on and 1 out for the Makos. Mentioned earlier that I had to look it up to see if we actually have Mako sharks here in Florida, and we do. We don't always hear about them. They're offshore, they're very speedy, and you definitely don't want to meet up with one. But earlier this year in January, there was a Mako shark in brackish water in a lake in Hollywood, and the authorities had to be called to help that shark find its way back to the ocean. It got stuck. What sharks sometimes do is they follow their prey, follow the food, and sometimes they follow it to their detriment. Breaking ball upstairs right at the letters. To go Nunez. Here comes the next pitch, and that'll miss low and inside. 3 balls, no strikes to the catcher. Next pitch, strike right at the letters. 3-1 the count. Throw down to second. That almost sailed away from the second baseman as it was up high and to the left of the bag, but Isafano was there to make the grab before it went into center field. Bases are loaded now as that was a walk to Ganines. So Marrero at third, Hernandez at second. And we'll have a short little break, a meeting on the mound as the head coach, Nick Ferrara, will go out to talk to his pitcher, Takovich, along with the infield coming in. Bases loaded right here. The assistant coach for the Snappers is Braden Ostrander. Quick little meeting. 2-1, Makos on top. The Makos had only played one game before they played their doubleheader last night. That was Saturday on opening day exhibition game for everybody. Makos lost to the Extreme 1-6 in 9. Fly ball going deep into left center and waving bye-bye. That ball's out of here. A grand slam off the bat of Martinez. The center fielder who walked, scored a run back in the second, has now cleared the bases and crossing the plate here as off the bat of Martinez. A grand slam at the plate. Everybody hugs, slabs helmets, and everybody's waiting to give high fives going back to the dugout. So the Makos, they might have been a little tired coming into today's game. Had to get things warmed up and tuned up, but boy, are they awake now. We'll take a quick break as a pitching change for West Boca for the Snappers as the Makos now lead 6-1 here in the bottom of, or the top of the third. We'll be right back after this short timeout. Welcome back. We've got a new pitcher on the hill for West Boca. It's the righty, number 20, Danny Chow. Chow will first face the number 7 hitter for the Makos, Chris Perez, the extra hitter. Get into a fielder's choice back in the second, so he's 0 for 1. Chow's coming in right after the grand slam off the bat of Martinez. First pitch, and that'll miss. 1 ball and no strikes. The next pitch inside gets Perez to turn away to avoid that pitch. 2 balls, no strikes to Perez. Slight little shift in the infield for the lefty at the plate. Pop up That'll go into short center. Calling for the shortstop. Incoming is the center fielder. He'll make the grab as he slides down and gets some grass stains on his nice white pants out there in center field. So Perez pops up to center. That was a tough play for the center fielder, Soto. The run coming in, now getting some communication, talking to second baseman and shortstop. Wasn't sure who was going to get that, but the center fielder. Even the right fielder over there, Hatfield, came over. He's jogging back to his spot in right field. That'll bring up the left fielder, Andy Iniguez. Righty-righty matchup. Iniguez flied out to right back in the second. 0 for 1 here today. First pitch strike. Just catches that outside edge of the plate. Pena on deck. Next pitch, that'll go out of play. Chow's from Boca Raton, sophomore for the Dominican College. Breaking ball, and that'll miss outside. Big curveball that stayed up there and went outside on Iniguez. Two outs. Fly ball left field. Calling for it is Melvin. Camps underneath. Brings it in, and that's out number 3. So Iniguez is retired as he flies out to left. So Chow comes in, closes the door on the Makos, gets the 2 batters that he has faced here in the 3rd out, but the damage was done before. 5 runs crossed the plate, one of them not off the grand slam, but 4 grand slam off the bat of Martinez. And it's a 6-1 ball game in favor of the Makos as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. The law offices of Salao, Astarita, Cox offers their clients the best experience in areas of securities enforcement, regulation, arbitration, and litigation. James Sala and his team of expert attorneys provide individualized attention with your white collar crime cases. SAC has law offices available in Boca Raton as well as New Jersey and New York. Call 561 989 9080. That's 561 989 9080 for consultation today. Sala, Astarita, Cox, your go-to representation for white collar troubles. Welcome back. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League broadcast here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us here. And what time is it? Boy, it's almost noon here. We started at a little bit after 11 at the plate for the Snappers. Josh Hungler steps in. He's the extra hitter. And going the opposite way into right, Hungler gets a base hit. Hungler drives it right through the infield into right field. That'll bring up the catcher, Dominic Rivera. For the Snappers, just 4 hitters went to the plate in the first, 3 in the second. So they're still trying to get through their order right now, the lineup. Great job by Shields. He'll go low and away, though, first pitch to Rivera. Snappers scored in the first, and now need 5 to catch up to the Makos. Makos leading 6-1. We're in the bottom of the third. Two balls, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. I'm down low behind home plate. And you want to know how hot it is here today. We don't have a lot of sunshine. It peeks through once in a while, but I'm looking at the back of the umpire right now, and he's got a two-tone blue shirt on because he's sweating so much right through his shirt. Ball hit foul right side. That'll go out of play. I wore a black shirt today, so you probably can still see the sweat though. Here in Florida in the summer. It's not even the summer yet, right? We're in June, but June 21st marks the first day of summer. Next pitch, fly ball into center field. Going after it and bringing it in is the center field Martinez. That'll keep Hungler at first base as Rivera flies out. One down. Johnny Isofano will step up to the plate, the second baseman. His first at bat here in today's contest. We have two umpires that umpire the games, one behind the plate and one on the base pass. Big job for both of them to cover the whole field and make sure they're in the right position for every play. Isofano batting from the left side, two-tone bat wiggling it. Black at the handle, red on the barrel, takes first pitch inside. Right by his shoelaces, one ball, no strikes. Righty-lefty matchup. Next pitch, fouls it left side into the screen. Isofano, just like Bavaro here in the Snappers lineup, played college ball. I mean, not college ball, high school ball. Just graduated this year. Johnny from Lake Worth, Florida. Be a freshman at Erskine College. That's in Due West, South Carolina. He'll be playing for the Flying Fleet. Inside again and low. Three hits apiece for both teams, but the Makos took well advantage of their hits and are up 6-1. Strike delivered, 2-1 the count. One error for the Makos and two errors for the Snappers here today. Next pitch, laying off a good eye. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch going upstairs outside, and Isofano draws a walk. Hungler will advance a base, and the Snappers have two on with one out. Finally, the Snappers are back to the top of the order. The right fielder, Xavier Hatfield. Hatfield 1 for 1 today, single to left, scored the one run that the Snappers have on the board as Soto, who is on deck right now, drove him in back in the first. Snappers took advantage right away. Low pitch, getting away from the catcher, but staying with it is Godinez, and nobody advances to the next station on the base pass. But the Snappers, they played yesterday too, but they finished up a much earlier than the Makos, who played two doubleheaders or played a doubleheader, 2 games late night. Next pitch, right at the letters, breaking ball that breaks right across the plate. Give something for Hatfield to think about right now. But the Snappers, I think they, took advantage of the Makos just waking up, the long drive, and then somehow the Makos woke up, scored 5 runs in the third. Ball gets by the catcher, Godinez, and that'll advance the runners. Hungler now at third, Isofano at second in scoring position for the Snappers. No outs, or actually one out. Hatfield. Lefty at the plate takes the next pitch strike. Righty lefty matchup. Next pitch, swing and a miss. As Shields brings some heat and strikes out Hatfield. Two down. That'll bring up Javi Soto. Soto from the University of Tampa will step in. Double drove in a run in the first inning. Strike delivered to Soto. Snappers are the defending champs here in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Received their rings on opening day at Santa Lucia's Community High School. Rematch between the Blazers and Snappers that day, and the Blazers got the best of them. 5-3 win for the Blazers. Soto at the plate was 1-for-1 in game one. Scored a run, drove in two. Picked up his first double of the season, has another double here today. Two on, two outs. Pop up, and that'll go out of play. Soto with a smooth swing, almost like a check swing. Yesterday's game, Snappers won 4-0. First win of the season against the Matadors, and Soto was 2-for-5, batting .500 coming into today's game. Just a small sample size, but it's got to feel good when you start the season off right like that. Next pitch upstairs. Soto waiting for his pitch. Fouled off a couple, didn't like. Two outs, runners in scoring position at second and third. Soto lays off. He'll walk and load the bases. So with two outs, the number 3 hitter in the lineup for the Snappers, Ty Villardo, will step up to the plate. Hit into a double play as he lined out to the shortstop back in the first, so 0-for-1 today. Villardo yesterday, he was 2-for-4. Lots of hits for the Snappers in their 4-0 win. 11 hits, no errors for the Snappers against the Matadors. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball, and Villardo with the golf swing there, trying to go after that low pitch. But Bavaro had 2 hits last night. Soto 2, Villardo 2. Sloan was 3-for-4. DeVito 1-for-4, and Isofano picked up a hit too. Bases juice, 2 outs. Snappers down by 5. This is a big position for Villardo to be in right now. Lays off the pitch. 2 balls on Villardo. Next pitch. And that'll miss and have Ty Balin out of the box. 3-1 the count. Nowhere to put Villardo. Righty-lefty matchup. Little bit of bat wiggle along with his body. Gets set, pitch delivered. Full count now on Villardo. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Snappers down by 5. Big at bat for Villardo. Payoff pitch coming. Here it is. Swing and a pop up. It'll stay in the infield. First baseman Hernandez squeezes it, brings it in, and that retires the Snappers. So Velardo pops out to first, and that'll leave the bases loaded here for the Snappers as we head to the top of the fourth with the Makos on top 6-1. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League here on YouTube. The law office of the law offices of Thompson and Thomas will fight for you to get you the compensation you deserve. Vehicle accidents, personal injury, real estate, workers' compensation, and more. Thompson and Thomas will have you covered. Thompson and Thomas will fight for you like family, treating your case with the specialized care we would want for their own. For top level and caring attorneys, Thompson and Thomas has you covered. For a free consultation today, go tntlegal.com. That's tntlegal.com. Welcome back. We're in the top of the fourth here from Boca Raton, Florida, at Burt Aronson Regional Park. Makos Snappers. Makos on top, 6-1. Number 23, who was the courtesy runner, Justin Mercado, is now hitting in the number 9 slot for Frank Pena. Chow remains. He came in relief last inning after the grand slam given up by Takovich. Chow came in, retired the 2 batters that he needed to face, pop up and fly out, and now he's facing Pena. Swing and a miss. Righty lefty matchup with Mercado at the plate. The kick, the pitch off the end of the bat to the left side. Couple of hops into the glove of the shortstop. Clean throw over to first in time, and Mercado is retired as he grounds out to short. One down, that'll bring up the third baseman, Carlos Rubio. Rubio grounded out his first trip up back in the second, so 0 for 1 today. Rubio is the number 10 hitter in the lineup. If you're new to the league here, there's always 10, not always, like there could be 9, but most of the time, 10 hitters you'll see in the lineup. The extra hitter is available along with the designated hitter. It gives the players more opportunities to get some at bats in this short season, this summer ball season. Starts on May 31st. The regular season will end on July 16th. Then we're headed to the playoffs. Next pitch strike. Righty lefty matchup. Here comes the pitch off the end of the bat, going foul left side. Nice smooth swing by Rubio. Just not the pitch he wanted. But the league goes a couple of months with the playoffs. We have a home run derby contest and an all-star game, all jam-packed in these couple months of June and July. Here comes the next pitch upstairs coming back. Hits the screen right in front of us. Luckily, our camera wasn't over there by the pole, but I think it did get some vibrations off of that ball that hit the screen. So glad that you're all joining us from across the country, here in Florida, wherever you may be, at work, at home, at the pool. Hopefully, there's a lot of people at the pool, right? Hop up. Calling for it is the pitcher. Usually, the pitcher does not make the play, but Chow will. Usually, everybody tells the pitcher, just lay off. We'll take care of it, especially the catcher. He tries to protect his pitcher, but Rubio is retired as Chow, the pitcher, does make the play. Two down, we're back up to the top of the order. Trent McDougal will come up to the plate. Everything started with McDougal back in the third, too. He was aboard on an error, went around to score. Loop base hit by Gandria, who is on deck. And then after that, bases got loaded. Martinez, the number 6 hitter, grand slam. And before you knew it, the Makos had this big 5-run lead. Righty-righty matchup, pitch delivered off the end of the bat. That'll go out of play. But we'll be bringing you here from the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League on YouTube. Free baseball. 2, 3, 4 games a week. So check out our schedule and tune on in. Pitch delivered upstairs, that'll miss. Last night's game was canceled because of wet grounds. Switched a game up today, so we're here in Boca. And then we'll be back here on YouTube Live. Swing and a miss. And 1, 2, 3 down go the Makos as Rivera squeezes it on in. Our next broadcast, I believe, is on June 7th. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. We're playing 7 here today in game 1 of this doubleheader, and the Makos continue to lead 6-1. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. There's nothing better than leaving the ballpark to get some cold beers, hot chicken wings, and great times with friends and family. The Duck Tavern has been whipping it up for the South Florida community for years, and now is the official local restaurant of the SFCBL. We aren't sure what's more impressive, the 110 different beers from around the world or the 20% off that all the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League athletes, staff, and family get at the Duck all season. Located at 5901 North Federal Highway. Come on in for good food and good vibes at the Duck Tavern. Thanks. because they announced it right away and I missed the name. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Welcome back. We've got the Snappers coming to the plate. They left three stranded last inning in the third, scored one in the first, and that's been the lone run off the bat of Soto as he scored Hatfield. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Snappers. Camacho Jr. first up, then Strakowski and Bavaro. So Samuel Camacho Jr., the third baseman, steps in. First pitch, that's low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. We do have a new pitcher on the hill. Number 40. I don't have him on my roster, so we will get his name to you soon. Another righty off the end of the bat to the right side. That'll go out of play. Daniel Fumero is the new pitcher. That's what's fun too about the league. I was talking to some of the coaches before the game, upstairs missing. So 2 balls and a strike here to Camacho Jr. And I asked the players, do you guys, work? Do you have time to work out, get in some BP, get in some infield? And they said this is like a show and go league that you show up and you go. And there are some guys though that do work. And so there is a big roster. So that if somebody can't show up, that they do have extra players. And, Mero is not on our roster right now. I'm sure he'll get onto the main roster soon, but that's definitely where you'll see some jerseys being swapped and some extra players being added at the last minute. Next pitch, that'll go low and away and miss. Next pitch, another breaking ball upstairs, and Camacho Jr. patient will walk. So the first batter that Fumero faces here in the fourth, he walks. That'll bring up the designated hitter rather, Ethan Strakowski. Strakowski from Boca Raton, Florida. The junior is out of the University of Tampa. Shatowski picked up his first hit of the season back in game one. He was 1 for 1, ball getting by Godinez, and that'll advance Camacho Jr. Wild pitch. 1 ball, no strikes to Strzokowski. Ethan scored a run, stole a base in that first game. Game 2 on Tuesday for the Snappers. 1 for 3. His first home run. That one hit was a home run off the bat of Strzokowski. And this ball is lined into center field and bounces off of Martinez. That'll have Camacho Jr. rounding third and scoring. So the Snappers add one more, and they're only down by 4. It's a 6-2 ball game. Still Makos on top, but Camacho Jr. closing that gap. Strakowski driving him in. Ball hit into center. Martinez coming in, bounced off of him, away from him, and that enabled Camacho Jr. He was heading to third base, but was able to score. That'll bring up Will Bavaro. One ball, no strikes to Bavaro. Righty-righty matchup. Next pitch. Bavaro checks, brings it back, lays off. One on, no outs. Pop up. That'll go into foul territory, but Rubio, the third baseman's on it, does make the grab in foul territory by the dugout of the Snappers. That'll retire Bavaro and keep Strakowski at first base. Tommy Melvin will step up to the plate. The left fielder hit into a double play back in the second. He's 0 for 1. Melvin, also from Boca Raton, Florida, didn't have to make a very long drive over to the ballpark here today, and he's probably very familiar with Bert Aronson Ballpark. First pitch strike. 6 foot 205. The righty's a junior at Dyersburg State Community College. Next pitch, tap left side, backhanded, but away from Rubio. Rubio trying to make the backhand grab, not able to. Runners advancing then. The throw coming into second, gets away from the second baseman into right, and that'll plate Strakowski. So a tough play for Rubio. That'll be a base hit for Melvin. He gets to second as the throw comes over to second, but then gets away from the second baseman and shoots all the way into right field, allowing Strakowski to score. And now the Snappers trying to make a big inning. They had the bases loaded in the third, the bottom of the third, but came up empty. Now just playing a little small ball and some errant throws and taking advantage of the Makos defense. So Melvin at second in scoring position, ball delivered upstairs to Hungler. Josh Hungler, the extra hitter, picked up a base hit in the third. Hungler from Lake Worth, sophomore at Barry University. Foul ball left side. Fumero looking the runner back at second base. That's Melvin, does his dance, pitch delivered, ground ball foul left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the extra hitter. Number 8 hitter in the lineup for the Snappers is Hungler. On deck is Rivara. Rivara flied out to center his first trip up back in the third. Fumero glances around, goes to the plate, and then hits Hungler right on the left side. So Hungler will advance to first base, and that'll bring up Dominic Rivara from Pace University. The catcher 0 for 1 today. 2 on, only 1 out. Melvin in scoring position for Rivara. The Snappers had 11 hits in last night's contest. 5 on the board right now. Pitch, swing and a miss. Next pitch, another little breaking ball. Another swing and a miss. Fumero mixing up his pitches right now, having the number 9 hitter, the catcher Rivara, thinking about what's coming next. Only 1 out. Rivara taps it foul by the home plate. All right, Rivara digging in. Black wooden bat ready, and the pitch swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove of the catcher, his counterpart. Godinez, and that'll retire Rivera as he goes down swinging. So there's 2 outs. That'll bring up the number 10 hitter in the lineup for the Snappers, the second baseman, Johnny Isofano. Johnny walked back in the third. Had a great night at the plate last night. 1 for 3, scored a run. Batting .333 coming into today's game. First pitch hits it on the ground to the first baseman. Covering the bag is the pitcher, tossing the ball underhanded. Hernandez just in time. Snapper is calling for it to be a safe call, but Isofano out at first base. That'll leave 2 stranded, but the Snappers pick up 2 runs, and they take, or actually the Makos take the 6-3 lead as we go into the 5th. Here from Boca Raton, Florida, you're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Homeowners of South Florida, the 5 boroughs of New York and New Jersey, we have the one-stop shop for all of your home remodeling needs with GMNO Construction. GMNO specializes in kitchens, bathrooms, complete remodels, and now home construction. Call 973-315-7411 for a free quote today. GMNO Construction, proud partner of the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Remember, call 973-315-7411 for a free quote today. And we're back. We're in the top of the 5th here from Boca Raton, Florida, Bert Aronson Regional Park. Mako's on top. They're the visiting team. They're leading 6-3. For the Makos, it's 2, 3, and 4. Gandaria at the plate takes first pitch. He walked back in the first, blue base hit in the third. So 1-for-1 day for Gandaria. Takes the next pitch. Marrero on deck. Then it's Hernandez. So 2, 3, and 4 all due up here for the Makos in the 5th. Next pitch, strike. 2 balls and a strike to the shortstop. Righty-righty matchup. Chow in another inning of work. He came in relief. Weak ground ball on the run. Camacho throw to first base is in time, and that'll retire the shortstop Gandaria. That'll bring up Luis Moreira. Moreira, the second baseman, scored a run. One of those big runs. He was on base for Martinez, who drove everybody in, including himself. Big grand slam off the bat of Martinez, the center fielder for Miami Gardens. Hop up. That'll stay in the infield. Calling for it is the first baseman, and the wind pushing it over across the diamond close to the mound, but Velardo stayed with it and made the grab. Herrera's retired. Quickly, there are two outs for the Makos. The first baseman, Damian Hernandez, will step up to the plate. He struck out looking in the first, then walked in the third. Righty righty matchup, high heat missing. Chow throwing some cheese upstairs, but doesn't have Hernandez going after that. Sometimes those high pitches fool a hitter, though, as it looks so good, it's right at eye level. Get a swing and a miss. Not this time. And low and away, so Chow mixing things up, getting the signals from Rivara. Rivara calling the pitches, old fashioned way, putting down the fingers behind the plate. Here comes the pitch, and that'll miss, just miss off the plate. Hernandez 0 for 1 today. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Two outs. On deck is Godinez for the Makos. Pop up. That's way up there. I think it's hard to see today, not only with the wind, but the sky, the partly cloudy sky really disappears the ball. But once again, Velardo, the first baseman, stays with it, brings it in, and that'll do it. 1, 2, 3, down go the Makos. Another good outing for Chow on the mound for the Snappers. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. 6-3. Makos lead. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Athletes, are you looking to take your game to the next level? Well, Barwis Arm Farm has the tools to give specialized training to professional athletes all the way down to the leaguers. Professional and Olympic athletes train with Mike Barwis and his staff. Holistic and cutting edge athletic training. Prepare to achieve the uncommon. Go to barwis.com to book a tour and check out the training programs they offer. That's BARWIS.com. Welcome back. We're in the top of the fifth here in Boca Raton, Florida. Due up for the Snappers. We're back up to the top of the order. Hatfield steps in, takes the first pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. So 1, 2, and 3 due up here for the Snappers. Fumero remains on the hill in his second inning of work for Makos. Makos. Next pitch inside. Let's take a look around the league right now. We do have some other games going on and some that'll just be underway shortly. Off the end of the bat, that one's fouled. In the top of the eighth in West Palm Beach, well, the Fort Lauderdale Hooks And the West Palm Beach Iguanas are tied up at 8 apiece. Early mornings mean lots of runs, I guess. Bats come alive early. Next pitch, laying off, that'll miss to Hatfield. Bottom of the fourth, Boynton Beach, the Buccaneers lead the Boca Raton Lions 5-1. Then here in the bottom of the fifth, as Hatfield walks to first base and Soto comes up to the plate, well, the Makos are up 6-3. Snappers added 2 last inning, trying to work their way back up. They'd like to get a quick little win here. We've only placed 7, so they've got to do it in the next few innings. First pitch strike to Soto. He's 1 for 1 with a walk, double drove in a run. The next game's coming up at 1 o'clock. The Blazers will play the Wave. That's the Boca Raton Blazers. Liner to the left side, right on the line. That will stay fair, but roll into the corner in left. Rounding third base is Hatfield. That'll be a stand-up double off the bat of Javi Soto, his second double of the day and his second ribby. So the Snappers now have 4 on the board, 6-4 game, just 2 more to tie it up against Miami Gardens. The 1-2 punch here for the Snappers of Hatfield and Soto. That's how the Snappers got on the board in the first, as Hatfield singled and Soto drove him in with a double. And here Hatfield in the fifth walked and Soto doubled him in. Now at the plate is Ty Villardo. He's 0 for 2 today. Lays off the first pitch. That sails upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Villardo. So still checking on the games that are coming up. At 1 o'clock, Boca Raton Blazers, strike delivered, will face the Pompano Beach Wave. And at 1:30, after this game, we have game 2 coming up. It'll be around 1:30 or so. It'll be the Miami Garden Makos, West Boca Snappers. And a doubleheader for the Bucks and Lions as they'll start around 1:32. Ground ball, second base, easy throw to first, and right on contact, Soto goes to third base. So Villardo with the productive ground out, driving or advancing Soto to third base. 1 down, Samuel Camacho Jr., the third baseman, will step up to the plate. He's got Soto at third to drive in with only 1 out. Snappers down by 2, 6-4 ball game in favor of the Makos. Strike delivered, first pitch. Curveball to Camacho Jr. Tonight's games, we've got 2 on tap here in the league, and it's at 6 o'clock. The 2 Coconut Creek teams, the Diamond Ducks against the X team. 6:15, Palm Beach Gardens, the Matadors pop up to second for out number 2. Soto does a dance, looks like he'll go home, but then it goes back to third base. 6:15, Palm Beach Gardens, the Matadors will face off against the Delray Beach Lightning. Pinch hitter here in place of Wakes. I'm jumping ahead here on my scorebook. So Ethan Strakowski at the plate. Strakowski takes first pitch. That'll miss away on the lefty. 2 down, Soto at third base. Snappers down by 2. Strakowski 1 for 2 today. Single drove in a run back in the fourth. Fly ball into center. Incoming, and it'll drop in right in front of Martinez, and that'll play to run for the Snappers as Soto walks his way in, steps on home plate, and the Snappers making it look too easy here in the fifth. A blue base hit that just falls right in front of Martinez, not able to get to it. And once again, Strakowski drives in his second run of the ball game. And now the Snappers only down by 1. Mako's up 6-5. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Snappers are the home team. 7-inning game as we play a doubleheader here today from Bert Aronson Regional Park. Liner, that one shoots foul left side. Bavaro right on it. Will Bavaro, 1 for 2 today. Base hit back in the 2nd. Pop up in the 4th. Bavaro with the hot bat. I think a lot of hitters had a hot bat last night, but definitely there's a liner that goes into the glove of the left fielder, Iniguez. Nice, sweet swing, but right into the glove of the left fielder. That retires with Bavaro and the side. But the Snappers pick up 2 runs and are only down by 1. 6-5, Mako's lead as we head to the 6th. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Netting professionals will improve the quality of your facility equipment. They have L screens, batting cages, turf, netting, and so much more to take care of your athletic facility needs. Trusted by Division One athletic programs. Thank you to netting professionals for taking care of the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League and our family. That's netting professionals. Top of the 6th here from Bert Aronson Regional Park in Boca Raton, Florida. Partly cloudy day, lots of wind, high 80s, lots of humidity. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Makos. Ryan Godinez at the plate right now. He's walked twice today, and Chow remains on the hill for the Snappers. Defensively, Charlie DeVito is now in center field in place of Soto. Base hit up the middle off the bat of Godinez. He picks up his first base hit of the day here. That'll bring up Lester Martinez. This is his first at bat since that grand slam. He has walked, hit that grand salami, and now he's back up to the plate. The Makos had such a big 3rd inning, almost batted around. Chow came in, shut the door, got the 2 batters out that he needed. Saw only 3 hitters for the Makos in the 4th and 3 in the 5th. Chow, that was his first base hit that he's allowed here today. The base hit just given up to Inez. Martinez lays off the first pitch. 1 ball, no strikes to the center fielder. Martinez deep in the box, in the middle of the box, though, not too close Though the lines are quite blurred there at home plate. A lot of the white chalk has disappeared, especially close to home plate. Next pitch strike to Martinez. 2-1 the count to the center fielder. Throw to first base, check in the runner. Next pitch up in the air into center. And Vito, the new center fielder, has got a big jump on it right away. And he was able to make the grab out there. That was like a liner that he caught by his belt. Not an easy play, but right away read that ball right off the bat of Martinez. So the center fielder is retired as he lines out to center. One down. That'll keep the runner at first base and bring up the extra hitter, Chris Perez. Perez, the number 7 hitter in the lineup. Righty lefty matchup. Ball pitched upstairs on the run is the pinch runner. Safe at second base. So Mercado was the courtesy runner before, and he actually went into pinch hit for Pena, the designated hitter, and now we've got a new courtesy runner. Ball sails upstairs to Perez. 2 balls and no strikes. Courtesy runner is Pablo Castells. So Castells, the courtesy runner now. He's at second base. 1-run ball game. 6-5, Makos on top. These two teams have a second game to play after here. We're playing a double header here today in Boca Raton. Chow misses and walks Perez. That'll bring up Andy Iniguez. Time called, and Chow has had such an easy time against the Makos. Came in the top of the third with 1 out. Got Perez and Iniguez both to pop out and fly out. Faced only 3 batters. Pena grounded out, Rubio popped out, and McDougal struck out in the 4th. Faced only 3 in the 5th. A ground out, pop out, another pop out. That was 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup for the Makos. And now, for the first time, a little struggles here, but nothing that the defense and Chow can't handle right now. But, just to give him a little break, Snapper's coach goes out to talk to Chow. Looks like there is an arm warming up in the bullpen for the Snappers right now. A lot of games to play, especially for the Makos. Back-to-back double headers. Pitch delivered. Line shot, left side. That'll drop in. On the run is Castells. Gets the wave and scores. That'll tack one on for the Makos, as now it's a 2-run lead for the Sharks for Miami Gardens. Up 7-5. And that'll advance Perez to third base. Zaniguez, a double to left, a hot shot right off his bat, drives in a run for the Makos here in the 6th. That brings up Mercado, who's 0 for 1 today as he grounded out back in the 4th. Pinch hitter for the designated hitter, Frank Pena. Runners in scoring position at second and third for the Makos. Righty-lefty matchup. Mercado's batting gloves are black and look like a bright pink or cherry red, whichever way you want to look at it. Foul tip, strike delivered. Those batting gloves would match perfectly with the Boca Beach Boys. They've got some wild uniforms. You've got to check them out. I love everybody's uniforms really here in the league is all unique to their mascots. Very creative. How can you not be with names like the Beach Boys, the Makos, the Snappers, the Matadors, pitch delivered, and that'll have Mercado walking to first base. So Chow struggling a little bit here in his fourth inning of work. Has not faced this many Mako hitters yet here today in one inning. It's going through the lineup for the second time, pitch delivered to Rubio, and that'll go upstairs and outside to the lefty at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes, bases loaded. Nowhere to put Rubio. Rubio is hitless here today. Next pitch, that'll miss inside upstairs. So 2 balls and no strikes to the number 10 hitter for the Makos. The 2-0 pop up. Right side, waving everybody off is Velardo. Squeeze it into his glove, and that's a big out there for the Snappers. 2 down, bases still remain loaded. And for the Makos, they're back up to the top of the order, and it looks like we're going to have a little timeout and a pitching change here as Chow did a great job in relief, struggled a little bit here in the sixth, and he's going to leave with the bases loaded. So we'll take a short timeout, grab a little water, and everybody grab your refreshments, and we'll let you know who the new pitcher is for the Snappers after this short timeout. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League with the Makos leading 7-5. Welcome back. Well, the new pitcher on the hill is Marcus Kornikevich. He's got every letter in the alphabet there, but we've mastered the name, hopefully. At least that's what the public address announcer has let me know. He'll face 1, 2, and 3 here, and but we've got 2 outs, so maybe just 1 as Trent McDougal swings and misses first pitch. Bases loaded for the Makos. Makos are up 7-5 here in the top of the 6th. Scored 1 run here in the 6th, taking a little more lead, 2-run lead now, as they came into this inning just with one-run lead. Snapper's coming back. Pitch delivered strike, breaking ball at the letters. So Kornikevich is relieving Chow. Marcus from Lynn University. Next pitch, that'll miss low and inside. Kornikevich from Northfield, New Hampshire. So everybody tuning in from New Hampshire, thanks for joining us here today. Marcus is on the hill. He's a junior at Lynn University. Actually, let's check at senior. As I was checking out the Lynn website. So plays here in Boca Raton at Lynn University and now playing in West Boca with the Snappers this summer. Bases loaded, another curveball upstairs, swing and a miss. And Kornikovich shuts the door on the Makos with the bases loaded. That's a big key out for West Boca, and we're headed to the bottom of the 6th with the Snappers down by 2. Makos up 7-5. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Bottom of the 6th, Snappers due up 7, 8, and 9. Melvin Hungler and Rivara. They'll face a new pitcher here for Miami Gardens. The Makos have number 12, Nico Rattel, on the hill, a lefty. First lefty pitcher here today for either team, swing and a miss. And a new catcher as Rattel, receiving him as Apgar. Jap Apgar from Lighthouse Point, Florida, freshman at St. Thomas University. And Nico Rattel on the hill. He's a sophomore at St. Thomas University, so this might be a future battery with these two. Swing and a miss. Melvin is 1 for 2 today. Hit into a double play in the second. Base hit back in the fourth. Another swing and a miss. So Patel picking up his first strikeout and the very first batter that he faces here in game one of this doubleheader. That'll bring up Josh Hungler, the extra hitter today for the Snappers. He's been on base twice, single to right in the third and was hit by a pitch back in the fourth. Pitch delivered strike to Hungler. He'll dig back in with his back foot, finds his spot. Slightly open stance. Likes to bring his left foot up and down when the pitch comes, brings it up to time it out. Takes the next pitch, and it's a strike. Foul ball, that'll keep Hungler alive. The Snapper scored one of their runs in the first inning. Quickly had the 1-0 lead, but it was disappeared as the Makos scored in the second. It was a 1-1 ball game. And the Snappers gave up a grand slam and an extra run and found themselves deep in the hole by 5 runs. Swing and a miss. 2 straight strikeouts, both swinging as Rattel goes after the Snappers. That'll bring up the catcher, Dominic Rivera. And the Snappers, they've been making their comeback. Fourth inning, scored 2 runs, fifth, 2 more. Though allowed a run here in the top of the sixth. 7-5, Makos still on top, but Snappers not down by many. Miami Gardens, though, the Makos bringing Rattel in, and he's not making it easy on the Snappers. Faced 2 batters and has struck out both of them. Working on the number 9 hitter in the lineup here, Rivera. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking ball that just goes down and away on the righty at the plate. 5 hits, 7 runs for Miami Gardens. Also have 2 errors. For West Boca, 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 errors. Snappers have more hits but less runs. Upstairs, Rivera almost going after it, lays off of it. 1-2 the count to the catcher. Makos, less hits but more runs. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Rattel has come in and struck out the side, getting all 3 batters that he faced to swing and miss for that 3rd strike. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good night to the Snappers. We head to the top of the 7th. Makos are the away team, so we'll play a full 7 right now as the Snappers are down by 2. 7-5, Makos lead. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League here on YouTube. I figured there should be something. So we're good. So where is the mute? Like, oh, that's us. We're back in the top of the seventh. This is the final inning here, or could it be? But we are playing seven here in this first game of the doubleheader. Doubleheaders, 7 inning ball games, unless we have a tie, then we have to figure that one out. But top of the seventh, Mako's up 7-5. 1, 2, and 3 due up here for the Makos. Trent McDougal at the plate, strike delivered. Gandaria and Morero are due up after McDougal. McDougal is hitless here today. 2 strikeouts and was aboard on an error back in the third. Marcus Kornikowski is, well, I think I just butchered that name. That did not come out right. There's so many letters, and I sympathize as my last name is Pride now, but it wasn't so easy before. Every letter. But let's see. Kornikowicz. Kornikowicz, something is what we have racked up. But it's Marcus right now from Lynn University on the hill. A big curveball upstairs, and that'll miss. Miko's looking for their third win of the season. They like doubleheaders. They won their first 2 games in a doubleheader last night. Pop up to the shortstop. McDougal is retired. One down. That'll bring up the shortstop, Ruben Gandaria. Oh, let's check that as we've skipped ahead. I've my scorebook. I need to fix it. Sorry about that. That was Gandaria that popped up, and it's Morera at the plate right now, the second baseman. So Morero at the plate popped up his last time up in the fifth. And now I've got everything back up to date in my scorebook, so we should be on track. Here comes the pitch, and that's upstairs, right over the helmet of the Ducky Morera. Morera from Miami Lakes, Florida. Strike delivered. This breaking ball just a tad lower and right across the letters on the chest to pick up the strike call. Morera went to Mater Academy High School. This season with St. Thomas, got a 323 in 40 games. 8 doubles, a home run, drove in 23. 40 hits in those 40 games. Sophomore at St. Thomas University takes the next pitch and he'll take a walk to first base. So a 1 out walk, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Damian Hernandez. Hernandez, 6'3", 250. He's one of the tallest guys on the team. Just by inch, I believe Nelson Martinez, a pitcher, is 1 inch taller. Inside, that'll miss on Hernandez. 7-5 ball game in favor of the Makos. 5 hits, 7 runs, 2 errors for Miami Gardens. 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 errors for West Boca. The sun is starting to try to peek through these clouds. Boy, is it nice just to have some clouds here and no rain so we can get these games in. Pitch delivered, and there's a strike. Looks like we'll get some bright sunshine the next couple of days at least through the weekend. Get all the games in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. That's why everybody's here. Everybody wants to play. Pitch delivered inside, that'll miss. Most teams have one day off a week. It's random. It could be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it could be any day of the week, but try to give these players a little bit of relief. One on, one out for the Makos. Up in the air to the right side, running after it and catching it on the fly is Hatfield in right field. So Hernandez getting his big body and some power behind it, but Hatfield in right brings it in, and there's 2 down. That'll keep Morera at first base with 2 outs and bring up the new catcher for Miami Gardens, and that's Jack Apgar. Runner going, throw goes down, tag applied, and safe as Morera picks up the stolen bag and slides right under the tag at second base. That's Morera's first stolen base here today, and I know he has a couple. I believe that's his third on the season. He's taking a big lead at second, too, with Apgar going after this pitch, hits it on the run is Morera, but it's caught out in left as Melvin brings it in, and that'll leave one stranded. So no runs, no hits, no errors, one left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th, last at bat, last 3 outs here in today's game 1 between the Makos and the Snappers. Miami Gardens up 7-5. Bottom of the 7th. This could be it for the Snappers. They're down by 2, 7-5 ball game in favor of Miami Gardens Makos, and the Snappers due up here in their last 3 outs. They've got 10, 1, and 2 against Rattel rather. So Johnny Isofano at the plate, the second baseman. He's 0 for 1 with the walk, takes the first pitch. Lefty lefty matchup due up after Isofano is Hatfield and Soto. So 10-1 and 2 for the Snappers. Rattel came in relief last inning in the sixth and shut the door on the Snappers, striking out Melvin, Hungler, and Rivara. 1, 2, 3 went down 7, 8, and 9 for the Snappers. Pitch, strike right on the outside edge to Isofano. 2-1 the count to the second baseman. The kick, the pitch, and Isofano on it, but just taps it foul by the plate. Snappers have scored their runs, 1 in the first, 2 in the fourth, and 2 more in the fifth. Next pitch, breaking ball going down, and that's out of the zone. Isofano lays off. Here comes the payoff pitch to the second baseman. Rattel leaning down, gets the sign, sets up by the chin and delivers. Strike called right at the knee inside. A nasty pitch delivered by Rattel to freeze Isofano. So 4 straight strikeouts from Rattel, 3 swinging in the sixth, and now he's starting the Snappers off by getting them to go do some window shopping and got Isofano to take the called strike. So Xavier Hatfield due up next against Rattel. Looks like he might show bunt, pulls it back. Pitch misses. 1 ball, no strikes to the right fielder. Hatfield is 1 for 2 today. Singled, scored a run in the first, struck out in the third, and then walked, scored a run in the fifth. Here comes the pitch at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hatfield. Next pitch, breaking ball, and Hatfield all over it. He timed it well. On the run is the right fielder, McDougal, and he'll bring it in as he takes him and carries him into foul territory. So Hatfield gave that ball a ride, but it's a recorded out, fly out to right. There's 2 down. That'll bring up the center fielder. First at bat of the day as Soto came out of the game and Charlie DeVito came in. So DeVito at the plate getting his first AB, first pitch strike. Snappers down to their last out of the ball game. We're in the bottom of the seventh. West Boca down by 2, 7-5. Makos lead. Swing and a miss. What a ball game it's been. There'll be a little break, about 30 minutes in between game 1 and game 2. Game 2 will start shortly after. 7 innings for game 2. Next pitch is coming back into the screen. Makos had the big inning in the third. Grand slam, tacked on another run, and the Makos were up 6-1 at that point. Snappers doing a great job coming, back as much as they could. Got within 1. Makos tacked on another run, though, in the sixth. Now they have the 2-run advantage here in the bottom of the seventh. 2 outs. DeVito at the plate. He's got 2 strikes on him. Rattel coming in and shutting the door on the Snappers. Ground ball, waiting on it. The shortstop, Gandaria, it goes out, off of him, and that'll put DeVito at first base. I believe that'll go down as an E6 because Gandaria was waiting on it. The ball just hit the heel of his glove, bounced off his chest, and with two outs, DeVito's at first. That'll bring up Ty Villardo, the first baseman. Villardo looking for his first hit of the ball game. 0 for 3 today. He's batting .333 this season. He's got a couple of hits. Here comes the pitch. Curveball strike. Lefty lefty matchup. I mentioned the days off that the teams get usually once a week, but the Makos have been playing so many double headers. They're going to have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, and they're not playing again until Monday. So they're going to have the weekend off. They'll probably start playing right when it starts raining again because it's supposed to be nice and sunny this weekend. Foul tip. No balls, two strikes to Villardo. Two outs, runner at first. Snappers down by two, tying run at home plate. There's a liner into left, bouncing into the glove of Iniguez in left. It's a base hit. So with two outs, Villardo comes through with his first hit of the ball game, a base hit, and the Snappers, they don't want to end this game just yet. So the tying run is at second base. The winning run is at the plate right now. DeVito at second, Villardo at first. Samuel Camacho Jr. at the plate. He doesn't have a hit yet here today. Did walk and score a run in the fourth. Rattel had an easy time against the Snappers until he faced the number 2 and 3 hitters here in the lineup. Struck out Isofano, caught him looking. Hatfield, good wood on the ball, but flied out to right. DeVito was aboard on an error by the shortstop, and that allowed Villardo to come to the plate, and he singled to left. Solid hit to left. Camacho Jr. at the plate now. Lefty righty matchup, 0-1 on the third baseman. Here comes the pitch, swing and a miss. Wind still blowing. You can see the palm trees in center field moving. You can hear everything rattle behind me. We've got the canopy above us, so the tent, you can hear that flapping. Here comes the pitch. That'll miss low and inside, and Apgar makes sure to keep it in front of him. If there's runners on the base pass right now, it's two outs. Those runners are important as the tying run is at first base right now. The winning run at the plate in Camacho Jr. He's looking for the pitch that he likes with his turquoise batting gloves. Swing and a miss. That'll do it. That's the ball game as Rattel went back to what he did best as he struck out the first four batters he faced, starting in the sixth. Then with two outs, DeVito was aboard on an error and Villardo solid base hit, but then goes after Camacho Jr. and gets him to swing. Ball tipped into the glove of the catcher, and that'll do it as the Makos wins 7-5 here in game one of this doubleheader. We can take a quick look at the box score. I think I have my Wi-Fi all working now. Do have my scoreboard in front of me too. But 5 hits, 7 runs for Mako, 8 hits, 5 runs for the Snappers. 7-5, Miami Gardens. The Makos win game one. They've won now 3 games in a row. They won that doubleheader, their first 2 wins of the season, and now the Makos are 3-0 in the South Division, 3-1 overall. West Boca, the Snappers, are now 1-2 in the South Division and 1-3 overall. As we take a quick look at the box score for the Makos, Ganveria had a hit. He was 1 for 3, scored a run. The big hit came off the bat of Martinez, 1 for 2, 2 runs, drove in 4. Grand slam. That was in the top of the third inning. He's now batting 300. And then on the Snapper side, the big bats, well, Hatfield was 1 for 3, scored 2 runs. Velardo had a hit, and Strakowski 2 for 3 with a run, drove in 2. Just not enough to help the Snappers win here today, but what a day it was so far here. Game one, both teams played tough, played their hardest. Snappers were on their way back, just fell short, especially when they faced the reliever, Nico Rattel. Nico Rattel, 4 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. So 4 strikeouts Rattel picks up. Thank you so much for joining me here on game one of this doubleheader. Miami Gardens, the Makos win 7-5 over the West Boca Snappers. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League.